Baugus Rambo Gipson was the daughter of Alonzo Gale Rambo and Ellen Wiley Baugus Rambo. Alberta was the matriarch of this Gipson branch of the family. She was born on February 7, 1880 in Cass County, Texas. Alberta is in the middle of the pack of 12 siblings, the seventh child of the 12, 7 boys and 5 girls, and the third eldest daughter of the 5 girls. Alberta married John Tom Gipson on July 10, 1915 in Cass County, Texas. This was Alberta's first marriage and John Tom's second. To this union a son, Bernard Franklin Gipson, was born on September 28, 1921. Alberta's husband John passed away on January 21, 1932 at the age of 62 when Bernard was only 10 years old. John and Alberta had only been married 16 years at the time of his death. John was interned to the St. Paul Baptist Cemetery in Cass County, Texas. Alberta passed away on December 30, 1971 at the age of 91, surviving her only husband by 29 years. Alberta was interned to the Rambo Cemetery in Cass County, Texas.
Dr. Bernard Franklin Gipson Sr., a devoted husband and father, grandfather and great-grandfather, was Colorado's first African-American board-certified surgeon.
Dr. Gipson began his life's journey on September 28, 1921, in the East Texas town known as Bivens, Texas. He was the son of John Tom Gipson and Alberta Rambo Gipson, and the youngest of the 9 Gipson siblings. The youngest of the Gipson clan, Dr. Gipson got much attention from his half-brothers and sisters while growing up. The Gipsons were farmers and owned their own farm. They were hard-working, law-abiding citizens in the community, Dr. Gipson recalled in a biography he wrote for the Blair Caldwell African American Research Library archives. He noted that his father, a deacon at St. Paul Baptist Church, sang bass in the church choir. His mother, a quiet woman who worked hard preparing the meals and washing the clothes for their large family, accepted the role as stepmother to all of Bernard's older siblings, and he recalls her being treated with respect and love. As a student at rural St. Helena School, the future Dr. Gipson and his classmates attended classes 6 months out of the year for grades 1 through 9. Their shortened school year allowed the children to help their families with the chores on the farms. Bernard's father died suddenly from a heart attack when he was only 10 years old. The night his father died, as he stood at his father's bedside, young Bernard recalls hearing his father tell son Claude, "Make sure your little brother gets an education." From then on, Bernard's siblings encouraged and supported his life's aspirations and dreams. His parents finished only 3rd or 4th grade, but they were determined that young Bernard received the best schooling, never taking him out of school to work on the farm. "There were school years when I was never absent a day from school," Dr. Gipson recalled. An excellent student, Bernard was provided a quiet place to study his lessons by kerosene lamp at the home. At age 12, Bernard confided to his brother Claude that he wanted to be a doctor, even though at the time, he only knew one African American doctor, Dr. William Watts. When young Bernard developed appendicitis at age 13, it was Dr. Watts who performed his appendectomy. While recuperating, young Bernard told the doc he was going to be a doctor too. He smiled, and I am sure that he felt he would never live to see me finish medical school, but he did. Another influence in Bernard's life was his uncle, Marcus Rambo, a graduate of Morehouse College who taught junior high school in Cincinnati. The proud owner of a car, Uncle Bub as he was called, drove to Texas during summer vacations to visit family and friends. "I was impressed with his pretty car and nice clothes," Dr. Gipson later recalled. "I wanted to grow up to be like Uncle Bub." In turn, Uncle Bub wanted Bernard to attend his alma mater, Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. First, however, young Bernard completed St. Helena High School. He then enrolled at Central Pemberton High School in Marshall, Texas. At just 15 years old, he took room and board with a Marshall family approved by his mother. Competing with city students who enjoyed the advantage of a 9-month school session each year, Bernard was placed in the accelerated division of the junior class at Central High. To his delight, he passed his first chemistry test with a 95. In his senior year, He was elected president of his class and graduated salutatorian of his high school class of 1940. After being awarded a scholarship to Bishop College and too young to leave home and journey to Morehouse in Atlanta, Bernard matriculated as a pre-medical student at Bishop College through his sophomore year. Working at a defense plant in Texarkana, Texas, Bernard saved enough money to enroll in Morehouse College in September 1942, where he worked in the Atlanta University System Woodruff Library to help with his college expenses. Also working in the library was a pretty Spelman College student, Ernestina Wallace, who would become his wife 5 years later. At Morehouse, Bernard was on the Dean's Honor Roll his junior and senior years. He also became a member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity in 1943. With World War II declared, the all-male Morehouse College would see its campus empty of all but pre-medical students and ministers. Bernard was accepted at Howard University College of Medicine for the 1944 freshman class. Enlisting in the U.S. Army at Fort Meade, Maryland, he entered medical school as a private first class. Upon completion of his medical training, he served as a medical officer in the U.S. Air Force, Army Air Corps. During his senior year at Howard University Medical School, he was inducted into Kappa Pi Honorary Medical Society, which represented the upper 10% of the class. After graduation, Bernard did his internship at Harlem Hospital in New York City, followed by his residency in surgery at Howard University Freedmen's Hospital and the U.S. Public Health Hospital in Boston, Massachusetts. That year, a classmate asked Bernard if he knew Ernestina Wallace, a social worker who was working with his sister in Philadelphia. With her address in hand, Bernard contacted her special delivery and their courtship began. Bernard and Ernestina were married on December 19, 1947, in Sal Hall Chapel on the campus of Morehouse College by Dr. Benjamin E. Mays, the president of the college. In 1948, Bernard was one of the residents selected by the famed Dr. Charles R. Drew, professor and chairman of the Department of Surgery at Howard, to begin his surgical residency. Dr. Drew, an outstanding teacher and motivator of young people, had gained international recognition for discovery of blood plasma preservation, which was responsible for saving many lives, particularly in World War II. Bernard completed his surgical residency at Howard in 1954 and entered the U.S. Air Force as a captain and assigned to Lowry Air Force Base Hospital in Denver, Colorado, as chief of surgery. He became a diplomat of the American Board of Surgery and received a commendation from the Secretary of the Air Force when he completed the surgical board examination at the University of Kansas. Discharged from the Air Force in 1956, Dr. Gipson entered private practice in Denver. Concurrently, he became a member of the faculty of the University of Colorado Health Sciences Center in the Department of Surgery, where he served for over 25 years, retiring as a clinical associate professor of surgery. Dr. Gipson's involvement in the practice of medicine in Denver included membership in the Denver Medical Society, where he served as treasurer and also as a member of the House of Delegates. He also served in the House of Delegates of the Colorado State Medical Society, as well as a member of the Denver and Colorado divisions of the American Cancer Society. Dr. Gipson retired from his medical practice in November 1995, after serving the community for 41 years. Following retirement, he was involved in volunteer healthcare in and out of the city. He also was a member of the American College of Surgeons, Denver Academy of Surgery, National Medical Association, and American Medical Association. His civic activities included appointment to the trustee board of the Denver Botanic Gardens in 1992 by Mayor Wellington Webb. He also was a longtime active member of the Denver Owl Club and the Denver chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. A member of New Hope Baptist Church since 1955, Dr. Gipson was a member of the New Hope Board of Deacons for over 40 years. His beloved wife, Ernestina Wallace Gipson, who passed away in 2010 after 62 years of marriage, retired as a social worker with the Denver Public School System. Previous to working for DPS, Mrs. Gipson had been a social worker at Fitzsimons Army Hospital in Aurora. Dr. Gipson's life journey ended on January 26, 2015, at Briarwood Healthcare Center in Denver. He was 93. Dr. Gipson is survived by two children, Bernard F. Gipson Jr., MD, who is a general practitioner in the Florida Panhandle, and Bruce E. Gipson of Denver, who retired from American Airlines and is now a peer specialist with the Mental Health Center of Denver. 2 grandchildren, Heather B. Gipson of Aurora, who is a nurse, and Brandon Gipson of Denver, who is a policeman in Greenwood Village, and 5 great-grandchildren, Jamel, Whitney, and Brooklyn Hollins, and Braxton and Avery Gipson.
She like to hear me blow my lonely horn. All the sheep are in the meadow, the cows are in the corn. I got a girl over yonder, she like to hear me blow my horn. But whoa, blue, please come on and blow your horn.